What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Game Over. Welcome back to the Game Over Gerkinman. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, we're going in. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a first-person mode. Hello. You don't have nostrils. That's weird. Let's go inside this tree. I think he needs help with a curse. And who better than us to uncurse his curse? Now here's a little interesting tidbit that isn't about Ocarina of Time, but is kind of related. The map that I have designed for shooting the catfish, actually, for what I'm calling it's going to be like a demo. It's going to be the shooting the catfish prologue, which will be like a proof of concept for the gameplay and its mechanics and things like that, the visuals and all of that. The map in that is actually based on. It's basically a 2D interpretation of the Great Deku Tree. I'm not going to say that I outright stole it, because obviously I had to make a hell of a lot of changes to make it work in 2D, but... Hey, exploding your flashy nuts! But I wanted to take the general ideas that it presents, and because I'm pretty new to game development, obviously, and the best way to do these things is... The best way to learn is through observing others, and so... Actually, even in Flatwoods, the forest in Flatwoods, which won't be out when this is out, but and it'll be out the month after. It's actually, you could never tell by looking at it, but it's actually laid out the same as the forest, the Woodfall Temple from Majora's Mask. There's no way you'd ever know that by looking at it, because by the time it was transplanted into 2D and made work, it becomes something else entirely. But it's a very interesting learning experience doing that. Look at this wall, the vines growing on it, give it a rough surface, maybe you can climb it. It's easy to make fun of that shit now, but at the time a lot of these concepts were pretty new, and this is a very vertically designed dungeon, which I think it's actually quite interesting. The fact that it's so vertical because, you know, before this people had only played A Link to the Past and the other 2D Zelda games, so I think it makes sense to focus not so much on the forward and backspace of the 3D environment to get people used to it, but rather the ideas of verticality, which is something that you really couldn't experience or replicate in 2D. You can open a door by standing in front of it and pressing A. Pay attention to what the action icon says. That's the blue icon at the top of the screen. Like I said, it seems kind of condescending now, but at the time that was, I mean, I still couldn't work shit out after, after getting these tutorials as a kid. Forgive me, master, I'll give you a clue, how about you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold forward, you will roll on the ground when you land, and won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it'll work every time. If the cliff is really, really high, I'm trying to make the sentence up before it's even finished scrolling across the screen. Get out of here. Give me that heart. But yeah, I mean, like, I make fun of different aspects of this game, and it's mainly because of its age, but I mean, really, all things considered, this game holds up remarkably well from a gameplay standpoint. I mean, it's not as smooth as it could be, but it's definitely still... You'd be hard-pressed to play this and not have fun. And if you can, well... You're a bit strange and a bit weird, and I don't know what to say. Okay, yeah, I just wish that I wish this stuff you could speed up, and that's something that they did fix in the 3DS version, because the text scroll speed in this game is horrifically slow. Ah, I know, just let me... Yep, thanks game. I mean, there's no excuse in games now to Yeah, it's all three of our items. I've actually the C buttons obviously don't exist on this controller, so everything is mapped to the analog stick, for those who don't own a Wii U, which is a little awkward, but it could be a lot worse, I suppose. What's in this one? We got another heart. Okay, well, I had full health, so that's fine. I guess some people might already be losing health. And this is just very much the mechanics of Zelda once it turned 3D was go to a dungeon, get an item, use that item to solve a puzzle to get out of said room where you got item. They're pretty much all like that. It's a good way of getting people to learn how to use these tools, I think. Get some nuts. Yeah, this game, I'm really, really impressed, I will say, by the Wii U's Nintendo 64 emulation. Nintendo, you've done a great job. This is it's running natively at 1080p, which is awesome. If you were to play the Wii Virtual Console version, it runs at 480p. This is actually rendering the 64 game at a higher resolution, and even though the textures still look horrific, which was due to the nature of the Nintendo 64, it had a, when you're building a cartridge-based system, you've only got a very limited amount of space to work with, unless you want to pay out the arse for the manufacturing costs of the cartridges, at least. So, overall, I'm very impressed. I played a little bit of Donkey Kong 64 on the emulator, and I think that's something that I will be revisiting the Donkey Kong series, don't you worry about that. Once I get a GameCube, because the GameCube that I have here is Jessica's, and when she leaves I will no longer have it, but I will still have the Game Boy player. At a later date I will be most definitely playing through the 3 Donkey Kong Land games, and once those are out of the way we'll be moving on to Donkey Kong 64, and that's going to be a really good time, I imagine. And eventually Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze, both of which I absolutely love, so... Donkey Kong videos, for whatever reason, even though I've Let's Played the original Donkey Kong Country 3 times now, it's still getting, like, more views than anything else. Oh shit, that is not what I wanted to do. Oh, I just skipped like a whole big chunk. I can't remember if there was anything important up there. I think there was a map. Well, I can't believe that's how that panned out. That's actually kind of funny. I think it's kind of funny. Okay. This is where we learn about fire and webs. I think I said it in my Demon Souls video, but I really feel like the Souls games was kind of the logical progression for the combat and exploration of the 3D Zelda series. They certainly don't have the same level of, what's the word I'm thinking of? There is a particular word I'm thinking of, and I've forgotten what it is. The puzzle solving isn't anywhere near as complex. I mean, it's still just like occasional switches and things like that. And I have forgotten how to get this. I think you can just backflip into it. I think I have before. Actually, you can just jump onto it, I'm pretty certain. I don't want to lock onto it, I just want to... Yeah. Easy. Whee! I will not be collecting all the Skulltulas. I will be collecting enough in order to get the, what's that word I'm thinking of? Enough to get the big wallet and a few other items that make life easier, but overall, no. I do like the gold Skulltulas, though. I think they're a good addition to the game. I kind of prefer the way they are in... Well, actually, I can't say I prefer it, because I really don't know that I do. I think both versions of, both Majora's Mask's approach and Ocarina of Time's approach. For those who don't know, in Majora's Mask, there are dedicated houses, which are like puzzle houses, and you get 3 days to find all the Skulltulas that are located within it. Doing this with the stick is weird. Yeah, I do feel like, in general, I would consider the Souls to be the logical progression of the Legend of Zelda games if they stayed on Ocarina of Time's trajectory. I mean, obviously not in terms of visuals and things, but in terms of gameplay. I'll never do it again. If you spare me, I'll teach you something cool. You will never beat my brothers up ahead unless you punish them in the proper order. The order is 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1? Do you think I'm a traitor? Well, I don't really know that it matters what I think of this situation, man. To be perfectly honest with you. But yes, I do think you're a traitor. So yeah, it's kind of funny going directly from Demon Souls to this. And it's kind of funny that I'm playing through 2, like, fantasy RPGs Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I do not consider the Zelda series to be an RPG, and I get mad whenever I see it listed as an RPG because there's, in terms of role-playing, there's almost no role-playing mechanics in it, and I don't know why people list it as that. After you get into the water, if you hold down A, you can dive. I bet there's some interesting things underwater. It's true, you find all kinds of interesting things underwater. Like switches, and bottles with letters in them from princesses. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, two fantasy games at the same time. I would consider Zelda to be a action-adventure game, and anyone who says it's an RPG is dumb. So I'm sorry, but if you're watching this and you consider Ocarina of Time and others such as Zelda games to be RPGs, you are a big dumb, and you're wrong. Ow. Come on, stop. What are you doing? He was, like, stuck in the ground and glitching out and shit. Yeah, there we go. Oh man, this feels so clunky now that I've... It's been a long time since I played a Zelda game. Actually, that's a lie. I'm playing through Link's Awakening again on the 3DS right now. Yeah, you're gonna teach me how to push a block now. I know, there'll be a lot of block pushing here. Don't worry about that. If you stand next to the block and press A while pressing forward towards the block, you can climb on top of it. Thank you. Pay attention to what the action icon says. I will. I'll always pay attention. I guess the context-sensitive actions of the A button was a pretty novel feature in this. They expanded it a lot more in Ocarina of Time. Not Ocarina. I'm playing Ocarina of Time. They expanded it a lot in Conker's Bad Fur Day. But I guess at the time this came out, it was pretty progressive in that sense. Like, there's so many things this game started that have to be respected for, and I will not stop making fun of it. Just because I am a prick. But if I had to order my order Zelda games in order of my from favorite to least favorite, my favorite would be Majora's Mask, which is one I haven't played through as many as the other games. I don't find it as infinitely replayable, but just the mood and music and everything about it, just it's so good, so good. It's just got such a specific feeling, and there's nothing else quite like it. So even though I don't find it as replayable as this game, and we will be playing through Majora's Mask, mind you, we'll be playing through all the 3D Zeldas, except for Wind Waker, since I already played through that on this channel a few years ago. But, where was I going with this? There's gonna be some eggs dropped down, that's right. Yes, so Majora's Mask would be number 1. And then number 2 would be Link's Awakening, which I've finished quite a few times. I just realized these guys make the same sounds as the turtles in Majora's Mask. That's kind of neat. Yeah, they just slowed down the sound effects in Majora's Mask, but it's the same sound effect. Huh. I never noticed that. Yes, Majora's Mask, A Link to the Past. No, not A Link to the Past. Link's Awakening. Followed by Twilight Princess, which basically is Ocarina of Time, but better. I know other people can debate it, and that's fine. I like it more than Ocarina of Time because it is so similar, but the mechanics are just much more refined. I don't think the story and stuff is quite as interesting, although I love Midna as a character, and she shits all over Navi like no one's business. But yeah, purely because of the mechanically, it just feels like Ocarina of Time, but much more satisfying combat, and just everything about it just feels better. And I also think it has the best dungeons in the series. And that's followed by Wind Waker, which is aesthetically is my favorite of the series. So that's 4. And then 5, I'm kind of tied between Oracles of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. I love both of those games a hell of a lot as well. And then Ocarina of Time would come after that. And I think it's just... Well, people say that everyone's first Final Fantasy is usually their favorite. Which I don't necessarily know that I agree with, because Final Fantasy VII was my first, but Final Fantasy VI is definitely my Getting used to this stick business is tricky. Yeah, 6 is definitely my favorite, despite playing 7 first. But Ocarina of Time was kind of my real introduction to Zelda. But I don't enjoy it as much as I do other games in the series. Despite playing it through more times than any other game in the series. Come on, do your thing. Give it to me. Give it. Thank you very much. 20. Oh, really? 23 is number 1. Come on. Boop. Boop. Time to get this last son of a bitch. One thing I'm really having trouble adjusting to now that I'm playing this is not having a camera button. That's being really hard to adjust to. How'd you know our secret? How irritating. It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Goma to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Goma, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Oh, Queenie. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, Queen Goma, but your help is a shithouse. And you should probably get some new ones, because these guys are not reliable at all. I do love the introduction to Queen Goma, though. I think it's great. She's a lot easier to spot in this version of it. I remember in the original Nintendo 64 release, she was actually really hard to see. It was like much darker, I think, from memory. I think they've changed it for some reason over the years. I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm sure they had their reasons. But yeah, you can just see the eye looking around up there, and then look at it for a little bit, and then boom, there it is. Great introduction. Really smart, really clever. I also like the way they put the name underneath, which is something I think they stopped doing in later Zelda games for some reason. Hey, how you doing? I'm going to do this. For some reason I see other people and they're way faster at killing Goma than I am. I don't know what it is. Apparently I'm just slower. I just like to take my time. I just want to take my time and enjoy the fight. I've seen Jess do it, and she just kills it in 2 seconds. I don't know how. Hurry up and lay your eggs, you dumb bastard. Yep, that's great. Cool. Nice. Yep. Stabby, stabby, stabby. See, the second one didn't do anything. I don't get it. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't really care. All that matters is that I'm having fun, and I am. This game's like comfort food. It's easy. I contemplated doing a 3-heart run, actually. I don't know if I will, but I'm definitely not going to be going out of my way to get any heart pieces, because that's a waste of time in my books. Yeah. Stupid eggs. I'll teach you to be eggs. Can I just, no? I have to wait till you're down on the ground here? Come on, there you go. Yep, alright. Only one hit that time. I think it closes its eye when it's on the ceiling. It'd be cool if you could shoot it with the slingshot while I was up there. Maybe you can, I don't know. It's really hard with a stick, I can tell you that. Yeah, oh, you can. Oh. Oh, that's cool. I've never even tried that before. Get stabbed, bitch. Yeah, playing this with the C stick for the C buttons is quite difficult. I wonder if I could map the C buttons to the D-pad. That might feel a little awkward though, because I can't move and use them at the same time. Questions. I'm not doing a challenge run, I'm just doing this as a fun run. I'm playing through it for fun, because I've beaten this game 10 million times. And I got a heart container out of it. Sweet, delicious heart container. So tasty. Let's get out of here. Go talk to the big tree man again. Since he's such a cool guy. Cool guy. I always wanted to know how the teleporters in these games worked. Well done, G-Man. Ooh, I smell a cutscene coming on. But where? Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now, I have yet more to tell ye. Wouldst thou listen? I don't think it gives you the choice. Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me. I'm so old. That guy. I recognize that guy. He was in the opening cutscene when I was dreaming. Ganondorf was his name. This evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorcerer's powers in search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. This cutscene. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. And Farore, the goddess of courage. Someone pointed out once that the drips, they change direction as they flying, but there's like an actual technical reason for why that happens. I can't remember what it is. But they're falling down at the beginning of the thing, and then back up again, and then down again, depending on the direction and stuff. This cutscene doesn't actually mean anything either in the context of the game. It tells you the origins of the world. Din. With her strong flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. But the cutscene itself doesn't have any real weight on the main story of the game. It's just kind of like backstory. Nehru poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Farore, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. Then they went back into outer space. Pew 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 pew. The 3 great goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens. And golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence. And the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm. So that's the origins of the Triforce, kids. Now you know. It will have little to no weight at all on the rest of the game. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce. Oh, that's... yes. Sorry. Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. I love how Link's just sitting there casually, just like on his ass, like, oh yeah. It's like even he was bored. G-Man, go now to Hyrule Castle. There, thou will surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you. The stone that man wanted so bad that he cast the curse on me, the bastard. Oh, here we go. We got our first stone. Joy. Only 2 more of those to go, and that's the end of the game, folks. We're already 1/3 of the way there. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's really nicely emulated. You got the Kokiri's Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the great Deku tree. The future depends upon thee, G-Man. Thou art courageous. Navi the Fairy, help G-Man to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Goodbye. Oh no. Oh no. Not the tree. It's interesting that the tree turns grey. I guess trees kind of turn grey when they die, but... Let's go to Hyrule Castle, G-Man. Well, yeah, thanks for the advice. Goodbye, great Deku tree. I do like the way Navi lingers a little bit there before she leaves. I think that's a really nice, cute little touch. Alright, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for joining me. Next time we're going to make our way to Hyrule Castle, and we might even meet the princess. Who knows, we could get lucky. So I hope you join me for that. I look forward to seeing you then. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments below, so I can apply this stuff to future videos and things. And I'll see you next time. Peace out. Have a good one.